I'm in Iquitos. Gone deep again. Over there's the Amazon River and the rainforest. And this is the main town, city in this area, connecting all the little smaller ones. But I'm feeling okay, and I get collected tomorrow morning for my ayahuasca retreat. So straight in, going much deeper. These markets are not vegetarian. Feels like a storm is coming. This is not something I'm really looking forward to eating. But I mean, to cook a meal, I'm on a mission basically, so to cook a meal that is compatible with the conventions of ayahuasca is a win. So I just found out from my tour guide that the retreat I'm going on tomorrow, I'll be completely alone, no other guests. Which is quite disappointing because yeah, you have a certain kind of support and kinship from people going through the same thing. Right, that's it. My ride is here. It's time.
When it's raining season, all of this is water.
How do you cross?
We come by the boat.
Oh, I see. Oh, all the way down here.
Yeah. The water can rise up like 4 meters up.
Here we are. This will be my home for the next 10 days. Day 2. Doing ayahuasca this evening at 7. Feeling okay about it. It's not the full dose. They only give you a quarter cup first day. So this is where the ceremony will go down later. I think it's called a loca or a chaloka. So their cat gave birth last night. Oh, you got loads more. You got loads more. There were only 2 yesterday. 2, 3. You got 5. They're all doing well. Well done. 6. different country, same story. This is where the ayahuasca is getting cooked up.
Digo,
Hola, ¿todo bien?
sí. Cocina la ayahuasca.
Ah, sí. Con chacruna
Ya, ya.
y ayahuasca solamente.
Sí, ayahuasca chacruna nomás.
Ah.
Ajá.
¿Por cuánto tiempo?
Hasta las 4 o 5 de la tarde va a estar. Para hacer muy medianoche.
8 horas.
Ya.
Ah,
Ajá.
muy bien. Got an hour and a half till my ceremony kicks off, so starting to get some butterflies. It's right now, I wish there was another Westerner here or someone else doing the ceremony just for some camaraderie. But it should be fine. It's only a half dose tonight, as is the custom. Get your body used to it. See you tomorrow. Seems so weird seeing this place in the light of day. This was where my translator guide was hanging out. The two shaman were there, smoking tobacco and singing Icaros. And I'll get into more detail about what I got up to later on.
Hay que se hace a su manera.
Claro, ahí se mantiene caliente.
Ay, ya, mejor.
En cambio, si está pelado, se engarrosa.
Thank you.
Did you eat banana like that?
Well, it's day 4 today. I had my first ayahuasca ceremony 2 nights ago. Yesterday I was just recovering. Better now. Yeah, so I was quite nervous. 7 o'clock I went to the Maloka. These 2 shaman arrived and they were the real deal. There was no doubting it. I don't know where they came from, but they just started smoking tobacco. And then I took my dose. It was only a quarter cup. It looked a little bit more than that, and it was the thickest thing I've ever drunk, and it was, yeah, acrid and not very nice, but it went down okay, and then I just lay down. The shaman started singing their Icaros. Yeah, I just started to feel dizzy, and then nauseous, and yeah, then I just started to throw up, or purging, as it's called, and I just did that a lot. That was kind of the story of the night, really. I would lie down, just starting to feel a bit ill and restless, and just tossing and turning, and just not very comfortable. I started to feel, just dizziness, some faint kind of patterns in my vision, but nothing clear. And I was just really ill, basically, just weak, nauseous. The throwing up lasted the whole ceremony. They were singing. They took some ayahuasca as well, and they were singing for 4 hours, and it was a bit much at times because I was just so weak. I just wanted to come back here and lie down on the cold stone floor of my shower room in peaceful misery. So I'm doing it again tonight with a half dose. If you're ever going to get really high on drugs, these running hydration packs, perfect little sippy nozzle. I don't have to like sit up and unscrew the cap, and then no, I can just stay where I am, flopping around, just getting a bit of water. Very handy last night. You don't want to hydrate too much though, because there's this ball of like brown, acrid, acidic stuff in your stomach, and if it gets too loose, it's a double-edged sword, the old hydration game. This cat now lives permanently out here. Starts doing this kind of stuff at 5 in the morning. So chatty. My guide Paul's gone into town to take Javier, one of the old lads here, to the hospital just for a urine test or something. Should be fine, but I'm going on a walk with some of the other staff here. No water in my cabin again when I got back last night, so toilet wouldn't flush. When you've got this much discharge coming out of all ends, then plumbing is just very important, so that was another inconvenience last night. Quite a mild night of puking in the Maloka last night, relatively. And these are the communal Maloka toilets. They're lovely, aren't they? So grim. Imagine being really high and just having to come out here and face this. This is the real premium guest one. Yes. He hasn't been back to the house once. I haven't seen him. I don't know what he's eating out here. Right. Should we have an official debrief of last night? My journal entry starts with another rough evening. So it was going to be a half dose last night, half a cup, and this stuff was so thick. I mean, I was sat at the foot of the shaman as he was pouring this stuff out, and it was oozing out of the bottle like just a thick, brown, bitter, acrid paste. And I asked my guide Paul if I should do it in one go, and he said, "Yeah, I recommend do it in one." Impossible. I had one massive gulp, and then it's a second, and there was still a load of it left. So I kind of just, that was just all I could take. It was all just backed up there, just oozing down. I'm like, I still handed a bit back, and there was a little like, I'm not. It was shocking. It was. I can't describe just how bad that was, and just the knowledge that probably going to be throwing that up in half an hour. It's just. So I kind of crawled back to my mat and just tried to compose myself and just waited for the onset of the effects. But again, I just felt nauseous, dizzy, restless. I was kind of just moving around a lot, felt faint, weak. There were some visions, very faint, not the full potential of the thing. I encountered some kind of demonic entities. They weren't demonic, they were just kind of rude and nasty. I closed my eyes and all this image of these faces were like just being right up in my face and just being a bit gross. But I mean, it wasn't that upsetting. It's just a bit annoying. And there were other kind of visuals as well. But I have had breakthrough psychedelic experiences in my life, and I could see the potential of what was kind of trying to happen, but I just didn't. The dose wasn't strong enough in my mind to kind of push through. The colours of the patterns, because there were these kind of ornate visual patterns, but it was all a bit pale. The colour was kind of graded, linear, and not attached to the individual objects and stuff of what was going on, if that makes sense. So it was all just a bit pale and dull and not that meaningful. It wasn't very personal. I've had very personal trips where it's very engaging. This was weak, passive, and just like, again, with the nausea and stuff, it wasn't very. I wasn't into it. And the two shaman that were there, the first ceremony, their icaros, their songs, it's like this musical poetry kind of bird song. It's beautiful when it's done right. It can synergize with the ayahuasca, and it can transport you to places where it's one thing, basically, the music, the visuals, the meaning. It's very profound. But the guys last night, compared with the first, they were just going through the motions, and they were knackered, it seemed. They just ayahuasca, medicina, ayahuasca, medicina, It was awful, and then you just stop and like, and I was like, oh god. again, I was glad I was the only one there, because at least there wasn't a load of people doing that stuff. So it was a shame, and I made the decision just to bail, to leave. I knocked on the floor and said, "Hello." Oh, gracias. Yeah, just come to fix the water. ¿Está bien?
Yes.
Gracias.
Ya tienes agua. Yes.
Muy bien.
Ya listo hecho.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good lad. Second there. This soundtrack to my night last night and the night before. Just okay. Yeah, so I decided just to bail. Got my guide over and I was like, I'm gonna head back to my room. And he's like, "Oh, are you sure? Like, you don't want to wait?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." So I was like, I might need some help getting to my room. So he helped me here, and what a great decision just to be away from those. Like, as an entitled Western consumer, I can only conclude that the performance from those shaman last night was nothing short of a disgrace, frankly. Their heart just wasn't in it. I don't know whether it was, they might say it was my energies and, I wasn't whatever, but getting back to this nice quiet room where I could just lie on the toilet floor, cold stone concrete floor, with a pillow, bucket, toilet, quiet, bird song, and I can just do my own thing. It was a master stroke. I was so proud of myself for doing that, and it was only an hour into the ceremony, but I'm like, I'm done. I had a bit of puking and stuff, but yeah, it was a great decision. And I just knew from then on that it was going to be fine. I saw my guide Paul this morning, and he was like, "Oh, what? Like, how was last night? What happened?" I'm like, "The visions just were a bit weak, not very strong." He's like, "You were scared. That's your obstacle. The fear is blocking the visions." It's a great habit just to not try and change someone's mind. I was just like, "You're right. I think you're right. Yeah." I could have said, "Well, actually, it was a sub-threshold dose, and you shouldn't just be getting your maintenance guy to cook the ayahuasca just in a random place. So take more care, please." So I've decided to not do any more ayahuasca this trip because I'm not going to put myself through that again. On our walk here, Paul was saying that there was a lady in his last session that just booked a 3-day retreat and only came for 1 day and just left, and we were like, we had a chuckle, we had a laugh, because I thought, she's just lost her nerve. And even like, I've got a friend that came out here and did it. Well, yeah, she had 3 or 4 ceremonies, and she was telling me about it, and then she was saying, "Oh, other people in the group were having the second dose, and I didn't have the second dose because they go round after 2 hours and offer you a top up." And I thought, oh, it's a bit of a shame to go all the way out there and turn down the second dose. Well, I've got newfound respect for everyone that has come out here and done that. But there's probably a good reason why I'm the only one here. It's been open for 6 years and no one's coming back here and no one's telling their friends about it. So I think I can trust my instincts and just bail on this place. You do get good and bad ayahuasca, and I think this is not the real top quality stuff, unfortunately. That's how I'm summarising it anyway. But I'm taking Beto back to the main house so he can get some food, because he's just been hanging around in my cabin for 3 days. This is another reason I can't stay here. Water just sporadically turns off and just stays off for hours. Coming back to the house. But they welcome me in, show me their ancient ancestral cultural traditions, and I just sack it off. Goodbye, Beto, you silly